Like I thought I was going to come out and be on tour and be a famous DJ. Honestly, like things change, but it's great. I'm so glad I'm where I'm at now. It's really cool, actually.
Hey guys, George Coleman here. I'm interviewing today Ethan Ramsay. You probably know him from Instagram and his tutorial videos here on YouTube. Just going to be chatting about what got him into mixing and engineering and who he is.
So I originally started out, I think I was like 14, 15, typical like, oh yeah, mom, I want to be a DJ. And taught myself how to DJ. And then I actually ended up, as I was growing up, like 17, 18, I ended up DJing out in Tenerife. I had a few residencies and clubs out there, and a few of the nightclubs, did boat parties, things like that, did quite a few seasons out there. And it was good fun for a few years. After like being well into the DJ thing, I decided I wanted to get more out of music and turn it into a career, not just a party job kind of thing. So I actually came to Guildford, to ACM in the UK, and I studied part of their music industry practice. It was their music production course, and I really enjoyed that. I did the 3-year course, the degree, and yeah, it was really cool. And like as the course went on, we like they had like a broad umbrella of things they taught you. It wasn't like only production, which was really nice. And yeah, great facilities there as well. Really cool place. Really enjoyed it.
So what is it about the production side of music that made you so interested in that? Why is it you chose to go into engineering rather than, say, being in a band or anything like that?
So I've always been like a sciencey guy, and I love the technical side of things. And I'm such a geek as well. Like I love the techie kind of stuff. And as well, I think it was because I wanted to be like the typical like make music, be a famous DJ, like every 15-year-old wanted to be when I was growing up. But the older I got, the more I realized it's not actually making music that I like, it's the technical side of it. And it was like I was making songs, like producing my own songs, write my own songs, but I was finishing them as quickly as I could, like so I could mix them, because that was my favorite part, which is it's so odd. And then one day it just clicked. I was like, well, why don't I just mix for other people? And obviously during all of this was like my first year at ACM, and it finally twigged. And then I had obviously students around me who needed mixes as well. And then I slowly got into that. And then the longer I've been doing it, the more I've been honing in my craft on just like recording and mixing.
Are there any sort of mix engineers that you look up to, sort of idols?
So many. Well, I have to obviously give a shout out to Rob Kinelski, who mixed When We All Fall Asleep for Billie Eilish and Phineas. Just won a Grammy for that. That mix, like all the mixes on that album, incredible. That guy deserves that Grammy, hands down. And then mastering engineer as well, John Greenham, he's great. One of my first influences, like when I was just getting into mixing, was definitely Andrew Sheps. Like his concept on like parallel processing is what a lot of my stuff is based off. And as well, definitely have to mention Dave Pensado as well. Like his YouTube channel as well is just fantastic. Definitely go check that out.
You work with a lot of artists in their mixes. What sort of stage in the process from them creating a track to the track getting released, where do you fit in there? At what point does the artist come to you and use your services?
So sometimes artists come to me a bit too early in the process, but the ideal scenario, I would say, would be once you've got the final takes you're happy with, the song is written, it's arranged, and you've done things like pitch and time correction if that's in your budget and you're able to do that. And you send me like the clean audio files, the final things with like a rough mix you've done, and then that's what I would get. In some cases I don't get that, and that's fine. But if the client isn't sure, they can just send me and I'll be like, okay, so once you've done X, Y, and Z, then it'll be ready for me to mix. And I'm always happy to give advice on like at what stage it's best to send like the mix to me as well.
Sure.
But yeah, it varies on genre as well, because with some bands, before they've even recorded the song, I'll just sit and meet with them just to kind of gel with them and see what their vibe is like, see what kind of vision they have, so I can start thinking about the mixing process before the song's even recorded. And sometimes that helps, but then again, it always depends. But there's, for each kind of like track or piece of work, there's always an optimum time. But I would say it's when you as an artist are ready to like let go of the song and give it to the next person.
Give up some control.
Yeah,
Is it important to you to build a relationship with your clients and the guys that you're mixing for, the bands?
definitely. Because the first mix you do with someone as well is like, as well as being nerve-wracking for the artist, again, like submitting the control, it's nerve-wracking for me as well, because it's like I don't know them, I don't know what they're like, and it's like,
Yeah, absolutely.
and that first version of the mix you send is always a bit nerve-wracking because you're like, I don't know where it's going to go. Like I had a mix last year with a really good producer, and the first version I sent, he really didn't like it. And it was because, but it was my fault because I didn't have a relationship with him that well, and I didn't understand his vision, and
Sure.
I totally messed it up. And so in the end, after sitting down with him and like just talking, getting to know him, getting to know his influences, it totally like reset where I need to go with it. And then by like revision 2 or 3, the mix was done. Like it was totally flipped it around. But yeah, it's really important to understand like where they want to go, because like trust me, I've done it, and it's just so embarrassing when they're like, yeah, that's not where we wanted to go. So latest track I've been working on was actually it was an EP for the artist duo Bethia Exmore. It's called Part 1. And that was so much fun to work on. I've worked with that duo since their first release.
It's great stuff.
Yeah, and I really enjoy like being part of all of their journey now, and I'm also doing their live sound now as well, which has been really fun. They're really fun guys to work with. He's a great producer, and Bethia's a fantastic vocalist, and that works really well. In the future, I've got these videos as well, more of these videos coming. Plenty of mixes going on behind the scene. There's a really cool release that I can't tell you coming out very soon. It's so cool. And yeah, I can't tell you who, I'm sorry. Sworn to secrecy, but it's very cool and you will see it soon. A lot of my work is like, it'll be repeat customers, but then it'll be like their friends. And it's like every mix I do for a certain artist, that will bring me someone else every time.
Sure.
Like, and as well, like you just slowly build it up. But when you get your core relationships, like I have like 3 or 4 people I work with like really closely, and they always come back. But when they come back, each time they bring new people, and then obviously the umbrella slowly
Builds and
grows
builds.
out. But yeah, it's really important to have like those close people, and then you can slowly build like a team of people around you, become a part of like the bigger picture of it all, which is really cool. You're not just some guy in his bedroom mixing some songs. Like if you're looking to start out, I would say don't go straight in offering your services or trying to mix a whole song. I would say start with the absolute basics and just learn them. Like get your first ever plug-in and just sit and play with it for ages. Don't try and mix a whole song, because that's running before you can walk.
Sure.
Just take your time, and once you're ready and you will know, then you can go out and venture out and start working with people. But I would say just take your time and learn every step of the way slowly. That's the best way, because if you jump the gun, then you can learn bad habits as well.